Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, dear students, lecture number 45, grade 11, and we are going to end this chapter now. Only two topics remain behind for grade 11. Energetic of phase changes. Chapter number 5, energetic of phase changes. Now students, physical and chemical changes are accompanied by energy change in the form of heat. You done in the previous lectures exothermic reaction and endothermic reaction. So when the heat is evolved, this is called exothermic. X means out, exo. When the heat is absorbed from the surrounding in the system, which is called endothermic. Endo means in. So heat changes during the physical or chemical change. The physical change in energy is a quantitative measurement of strength of intermolecular forces. I told you earlier, the thermodynamic properties, boiling point, melting point, surface tension, viscosities, and also other properties depend upon strength of their intermolecular forces, and the unit is kilojoules per mole. Already we discussed here. So dear students, we have here some very important point. Molar heat of fusion. Molar heat of fusion. Molar heat of fusion. Maybe this is exo and maybe it is going to be endo. It depends upon the chemical reaction. Fuse means to break. So when you are going to break, or when you are going to make the intermolecular force hydrogen bonding, this is endothermic reaction. So the amount of energy is required. Amount of energy is required to convert 1 mole of solid into liquid at their standard states is called standard molar heat of fusion. Standard This is the standard sign, means you will do at 1 atmosphere pressure, 1 mole and 298 Kelvin. So dear students, if you are going to change 1 mole of ice into 1 mole of liquid water, so delta H naught for the fusion is plus 6.02 kilojoules per mole. So when the 1 mole of H2O solid ice changes into H2O liquid, phase is going to be changed. This amount of energy is required, is called standard molar heat of fusion. Melting, we call it melting. And if you make a reverse process, then 1 mole of water liquid changes into 1 mole of solid ice. The amount of energy is going to be evolved but same, minus 6.02 kilojoules per mole. So it means that melting is an endothermic process, freezing is an exothermic process. You have to remember this. Now molar heat of vaporization. heat of vaporization. So dear students, amount of heat is required to change 1 mole of water liquid into 1 mole of water gas. So this amount of heat is required, and mostly this is about 100 degrees centigrade. So 40.7 kilojoules per mole. 40.7 kilojoules per mole amount of energy is required to change 1 mole of liquid water into 1 mole of water in a gaseous state. The amount of heat is required to convert 1 mole of liquid into vapors at its boiling point, means you need 100 degrees Celsius, is called molar heat of vaporization. On one point I am going to give you, suppose we have a water and you are going to give 100 degrees centigrade and change into a vapor form, steam. So when you give more temperature, so I am giving you answer that there will be no increasing in temperature, because you are going to break the intermolecular forces, not intramolecular force. So at 100 degrees centigrade, this water hydrogen bond is going to be broken down and changes into steam or vapor form. So when you supply more energy is going to be supplied here. So this extra amount of energy is used to convert these water molecules into gaseous state. So this is a 40.17 kilojoules per mole amount of energy extra there. So there is one reason that if the boiling water is going to be poured on the skin of the human being, it is going to be burned. But when steam is passed through the human skin, more dangerous, more it has going to be formed wound or will be burning process is going to be more, because every steam molecule has a 40.7 extra energy. Heat, molar heat of sublimation. Molar heat of sublimation. Students, sublimation is a process in which when a solid substance is going to be heated without change into liquid, directly it converts into a gaseous state, is called sublimation. So the amount of energy is required to convert 1 mole of solid, it directly change into, converts into gaseous state, is called molar heat of sublimation. So students, iodine 40.80, iodine solid heated to give iodine into gaseous state. So delta H not sublimation is 41.80 kilojoules per mole. This is the molar heat of sublimation. Solid iodine is heated, directly changed into vapors. 41.80 kilojoules per mole amount of energy is required. So students, when you are going to convert 1 mole of water into 1 mole of the gaseous state, or any one phase change, less amount of energy is required. But when you are going to change and direct from solid to gas, because without changing into the liquid, one phase is passed out, that's why the more amount of energy is required for this one. So energy changes in intermolecular forces, already I told you. We done all heat of vaporization of water 40.6 kilojoules per mole, 373.15 Kelvin. ammonia 23.35 kilojoules per mole, 239 Kelvin, carbon dioxide gas 25.23 kilojoules per mole at 194.5 Kelvin. High due to their polar nature, because water has a strong hydrogen bonding which is highly polar, that's why it's very high. Water, it is going to be changed if you are going to freeze minus 6.02, and if you are going to melt plus 6.02 at 273.15 Kelvin. Ammonia 6.6 already I told you. Iodine, a volatile solid, to give a very bad smell. If you put here in the room, is a blackish, brown blackish solid. Highest value of heat of sublimation 41.8 because of direct you are converting solid to gaseous state. Chlorine, that is a 20.21 kilojoules per mole, 239.1 Kelvin. Fluorine only 3.16 kilojoules per mole at 85.0 Kelvin. So you are seeing the heat of vaporization of different molecules. Iodine has the highest because of strong intermolecular force than the other halogen molecules. So this is the energetic of phase change. Now students, there is one topic we will discuss in the next chapter also. We call transition temperature. Transition temperature. The temperature at which the two forms coexist in equilibrium. Two forms coexist at equilibrium when the equilibrium is established. So dear students, there is ice, solid, changes into water, liquid. This is the equilibrium, dynamic equilibrium. We will discuss in chapter number 7. So this is the 0 degree Celsius. When the ice melt change into water, the temperature will be 0 degree centigrade. And when water liquid changes into ice again, the temperature will be 0. So this is called transition temperature. At this temperature, the dynamic equilibrium is going to be established. The students' last topic, we have here liquid crystals. Liquid but crystals. They have the properties of crystals and they can flow as a liquid. So there is an intermediate between the crystals and liquid. So I am going to explain. In 1888, Austrian botanist Friedrich Renzer discovered that when the crystals of cholesterol benzoate organic compound, cholesterol benzoate, are heated, it forms a milky turbid liquid, milky liquid at 145 degrees Celsius. I told you this is the phase in between crystalline solid and pure liquid. That's why I use the term turbid liquid, milky liquid in between crystalline solid and liquid, transparent liquid. On further heating, the milky liquid suddenly becomes clear because the liquid crystal changes into clear liquid. When the clear liquid is cooled, the reverse process taking place. The milky or turbid liquid is called liquid crystal. There is between the two temperatures, melting temperature and clearing temperature. It is the form of matter intermediate in characters between the liquid and solid state. Already I told you. They have properties of liquid because they have viscosity and the property surface tension, and there is a proper arrangement of the particles, so that's why this is also called a crystal. The substances which can flow like a liquid and have some of properties of liquid with a certain temperature range are called liquid crystals. The intermediate phase lying between the solid phase and the normal liquid phase is called also liquid crystals. There are very important uses in the daily life. Liquid crystals used in temperature sensors. This is because the liquid crystals change their color with a change in temperature. They use in monitor temperature changes when the environmental methods are not feasible. They are used thermometers measuring skin temperature of infants. Some of modern room thermometers contain liquid crystals with a suitable temperature range. As the temperature changes, the liquid crystals show figures of different colors. They are also used to find point of potential failure in the microelectronic circuits. They are used to locate the veins, arteries, tumors. When the layer of liquid crystals is painted on the surface of the breast, tumors show up the hot area which is colored blue. So these techniques help us early diagnosis of breast tumors. Liquid crystals are used in the display of numbers of letters of electrical devices such as digital watches, calculators and computers. Liquid crystals are used in the LCD, liquid crystals display the screen of oceanographic television. So these are the very important uses of the liquid crystals. Liquid crystals are, I told you, crystals, then liquid crystals, then clearing. Temperature we call pure liquid. They are resemblance of crystalline solids. Already I told you they have some properties. Respect to optical properties, however pure liquid remain as such. Crystalline solid may be isotropic. We will discuss these 2 points. We have to now well know about this one in the solid state. Next chapter I will discuss isotropic and anisotropic. Isotropic means a substance showing same properties in all directions. Same properties in all directions are called isotropic substances. Isotropic. And anisotropic, a substance showing different properties in different directions. Different properties in different directions are called anisotropic substances. But liquid crystals are always isotropic, means they show same properties in all directions. That's why they are called isotropic. And liquid crystals is an intermediate in between pure solid and crystalline phase. So, dear students, we complete here the chapter number 5. You have to go through the exercises, questions. Within few days, we will have a reduced syllabus during the COVID-19 in the Federal Board of Intermediate Secondary Education, Islamabad. So, inshallah, we will see what happened. MCQ you have to solve this one, and exercise question must be solved. So again, I am telling you that you have hard work. We don't know about the real situation, what happens in the next few months, but you have to pray from the Allah that normal situation will come, that we will be in the class and we have to same routine as previous before COVID-19. To pray for all human beings and also for me that you have to successful in your life. Thank you very much. We can finish the chapter number 5. Inshallah, next we will start chapter number 6. Thank you.